Hey Dave, do you want to guess how many people I have on EVO9 telling me every little thing that you say? It's amazing how many people you can actually shut down and you can throw things at them and they never respond to you. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I love it. Anyways, though, what I was going to say is if you think that you're out of deep water, then you're not. I've been told by quite a few people that you won't run me because a lot of people say that you're a coward. And I kind of try to take a look at it objectively by taking a step back to see things clearer. What I came up with is I'm looking at a lot of your track runs and I'm looking at a lot of things that you do, and it is coward-like. So I've assessed that you are a coward, just like you never came on pussyratedlive.com and emailed me. You really wanted to race me. You called me out for 10 grand. It was a bitch move because you knew that my car wasn't done. The car I supposedly don't have, but you knew it wasn't done. You knew it wouldn't be done until February or late January, and probably wouldn't be tuned and ready until February, first or second week. You knew that. I've said it in just about every video. I've commented. It was a bitch move. But I accept that from you because you're a bitch, Dave. At the same time, I'm looking at your test and tunes, and I'm thinking, man, I can understand a test and tune. But how come when AMS goes to the track, they actually go to the track when it's filled, when the stands are filled with people? Why is the Dave only goes to test and tunes? Well, I made an assessment. I talked to a lot of people after making that assessment, and I got confirmed that a lot of people, a lot of industry people don't like you. They don't like dealing with you. You've been thrown out of a lot of tracks, and because of your antics and your complaining and bitching and moaning and groaning about things that people were doing. Example, when you got thrown out of a track event because guys were running motorcycle slicks, and you ranted and raved about that, said how unfair it was, probably made some posts on EVO9, and now you're actually taking that same idea and you're doing it yourself. After all that, like you just couldn't believe that somebody could actually outthink you on something. It's unbelievable to me how, well, when I talk to a lot of these manufacturers, they say that this rebadging thing is going to stop in '09. A lot of shit's going to be revealed. A lot of shit's going to come to the surface. There's a lot of your people really talking against you. Indirectly, I think that they're feeding a little bit off of things that I'm saying and finding some truth in that. And they're looking at things and they're seeing. Like when you said, you made a comment, you got 13 cars in the 9s this summer alone. Well, they're just exact carbon copies of one another. That's why they're all going the exact same time. For anybody that doesn't get that, the variance in time is the driver. I mean, that's just the bottom line. A lot of these kids you have brainwashed on EVO9, they don't concern me. They're kids that they'll never, I've been racing longer than they've been born. You know what I mean? Like, they don't faze me. Like, this is non-emotional to me, Dave. Like, it really, like, whether your ship sinks, you're not going to get any bigger because you can't go any faster. You've caught up with yourself now, finally. You've caught up with yourself. Now people are really going to be watching you, and in 5 years from now, you're still going to be producing 9-second cars. And people are going to want to start seeing you drive your car. They're going to want to see you take the reins and you driving down a track at a real track event against AMS, one of your largest competitors. And when you don't do that, people are going to start to wonder why you're not doing that. And then they're going to figure out the same thing that I figured out a long time ago, is you're a coward. You talk a lot behind the scenes. Well, we're going to see what happens when I actually call your shop. And I will be calling you very, very soon. I was asked to not call you when I said I would call you. But I'm going to call you very soon. So, like I said again, The move was a bitch move because you knew my car wasn't ready. Everybody even commented. A lot of people send me emails saying, I know your car wasn't ready. I've been watching your videos, and it's apparent that Dave was watching your videos too. I don't know how many times I heard that. So there are a lot of people that are kind of rethinking some of the things that you're doing and the antics and the EVO9, like the V2 intake, how it doesn't work. When Al made a post, you erased it. But you're still going to try to sell them as though they work perfectly. When in your first design, you said they didn't yield any difference. Like they gave you very little. I mean, it looks beautiful on the inside. I'll tell you, man, what you're doing, what Wilson Intakes is doing with that intake is not revolutionary. Domestic guys have been doing that for years. The first Mustang manifold that was a performance manifold was one that was cut open and reworked. I mean, it's been done. It was done 20 years ago. I mean, it's not something that's new. Like, don't be fooled by this shit. Like, and think that, you know, they're doing something innovative. It's not innovative. It's just they're taking old ideas and turning them into new ones. It's been done a long time ago. I'm surprised nobody's actually tried to rework that intake before. And if they have reworked it and they didn't say anything about it, it's probably because they came up with the results that you guys came up with. They really don't work. But after you invested that much time and energy into it, you gotta sell it. And if, kids, you think that Dave's really honest, let's take a look at that FS635 mystery turbo that he was trying to sell. He tried to do so much magic at one time that it would confuse the average person, but it didn't confuse me. There was a lot of inside industry people that were saying, hold back on that. Something's going to unfold in about 3 weeks to a month. Just don't buy that turbo. Trust me. So I told all my friends, you thinking about buying that turbo? I got somebody told me, don't buy it right now. Sit back and watch. So when I heard that, I automatically knew that it was something that existed already. And what is it? A 6265. That was your FS635 that you were trying to sell for $300 more. In the economical times like this, you're still pulling tricks like this out of your ass. Like, this is what you call honest business practices. You're gonna rename a turbo. You're gonna take June cams and call them your own. You're gonna take Force Performance cams and call them your own. Like, you would really do that? Come on, Dave. Like, you can't. You're such a genius, but yet you can't take a coil on plug design that you've been having the biggest problems with, and you can't fix them. You can't revise them. Now you got companies like SparkTech coming in and making something 10 times better than yours by looking at every mistake that you've made with yours and then fixing them and then making it look prettier on top of that. So not only is it actually a better functioning design, but it's actually more aesthetically pleasing than yours. And when they do that, mysteriously you drop your product down $200, making everybody think, oh, that's some great deal. Well, no, what's killing them is SparkTech's now on the market and everybody's using it. And you'll be the first to lie and say, hey, there's no warranty on that product. Bullshit. Call SparkTech. They'll tell you. The one thing that SparkTech won't do is they will not badmouth, but they'll tell you the ins and outs. They'll tell you the differences if you ask the right questions. And whatever questions you don't ask, they'll say, could you explain to me why your design is better than, say, like the Busher coil on plug? When I purchased mine, I didn't really know what I was looking at. I hadn't gotten one yet. But when he explained it to me, it all made sense. Hell, if I could have made my own, I would have made my own. But I wasn't capable. So I had to rely on what the person was telling me. It sounded pretty good to me. So I purchased one, which I have. And I will be pointing out the differences, like I said, in a later video when I get everything back together. That will be some of the things that I actually do. This rebadging thing is huge, people. You really don't even understand at what level they will go to actually try to disguise a product as its own by calling it a Busher spec. Call Grodin Rods. Grodin will tell you, Keith will tell you himself, I don't have time to make 20 different sets of rods for the same car. Everybody gets the same shit. AMS gets the same rods that Busher gets the same rods that AMS gets, you get the same rods they both get. He'll tell you. It's just that simple. Do the research, children.